Yeah, hi there. These comments are for MW. I am Michael from BetterToeflScores.com, and I'm getting ready to listen to your speaking practice test. This is my free TOEFL speaking evaluation service that I offer. Now, if you're interested, you'll notice if you go over to BetterToeflScores.com after you get your feedback, if you want to talk to me face to face, you might be interested in some of my services. For example, I have my speaking and writing feedback service that allows you to complete speaking and writing practice tests daily and get feedback on those things. I also have TOEFL private lessons. Here's a good combo. The private lessons are expensive, I get it. The speaking feedback service is very inexpensive. What some students do is they enroll, excuse me, they enroll in my speaking feedback service and then they just have one private lesson per week. And usually in the private lesson, I do accent reduction practice, or I take one of the writing practice tests completed that week and I will go over that writing practice test with you to show you what you need to do to score higher on the writing section. So those are things you might be interested after you get my feedback today. Okay, so we have the actual speaking rubrics right here for the independent speaking task, and I also have your practice test here. So let's see how you did with this one.
I personally believe that studying alone is much better than studying together in a group.
Okay.
I feel this way for two main reasons.
Yeah, and guess
Firstly,
guess what? I've heard that sentence so many times, and it's a very short, simple sentence. So you start your response off with two short sentences. What does that tell me? It tells me that you're memorizing templates from the internet, number one. It tells me that you don't have good syntactic variety, number two. And it tells me that your speaking level maybe is a little bit lower because you should be using longer, not shorter sentences.
one can focus more when he's studying alone and there is no one around him,
Okay?
as so there will be less chances of distraction.
There will be fewer chances of distraction, not less chances. So use fewer with plural count nouns, use less with uncount nouns. Okay, now I'm very interested. Now you've made a claim, right? So studying alone has fewer distractions. Now let's hear the example that you give to support that claim.
Secondly, I feel this way because
You didn't give an example there. So what are you doing? Right? What's going on here? You can't do that. Let's go back to what it says here. Now, if you want to score lower, you can do exactly what you did. Look at the three. It says overall development is somewhat limited, usually lacks elaboration or specificity. That's exactly what you did on that part of your practice test. You did not elaborate. So let's see, maybe on the second one you will.
one can be more flexible in.
Notice how you're using one can, one can. You're using what's called the third person impersonal point of view there. What does that do, right? Number one, it creates a more formal tone, which I don't think you really need here because you're supposed to be giving examples from your personal experience. Number two, instead of focusing on the I and the me and the my, the first person singular point of view, you focus on that third person impersonal formal point of view and you kind of distance, you remove yourself from the topic. This is a faceless, a voiceless response. That's not what you want here.
Selecting the timing for studies because you don't have to wait for your
Notice how you just went from one to you. Now you're using what's called inappropriate point of view shifts. You're shifting from the third to the second person point of view. That's not good. That doesn't show good, strong language use.
team members to join you. And I remember last time I
Finally, I get I. Unfortunately, you only have 9 more seconds, but that's what I have been looking for. I have been waiting in the desert for a glass of water. I'm very thirsty. You didn't give me any water until right now. This is the most important part of your response. Why did you wait until the very end to do this?
Score really well in my exam when I was studying alone instead of studying in a group. So that really helps me. And
What exam was it? Was it an exam in a chemistry class? Was it in a pharmacy class you were taking? Biology? Was it a mathematics course?
this way,
Okay, let's see what we got. So I just listened to it, and let me listen to it one more time. But you're definitely in the two range here. I was thinking maybe three, but I don't even think you're in that. Let me listen to it one more time.
I personally believe that studying alone is much better than studying together in a group. I feel
S-
this way for two main
Your
reasons.
speaking rate's a little
Firstly,
slow too.
one can focus more when he's studying alone and there is no one around him, as so there will be less chances of distraction. Secondly, I feel this way because one can be more flexible in selecting the timing for studies because you don't have to wait for your team members to join you. And I remember last time I scored really well in my exam when I was studying alone instead of
Notice how
studying in a group.
last time I score, right? So you're not even getting your past tense verbs here correct. So you're having a lot of problems controlling your language use, specifically with your verb tenses and also with your point of view.
So that really helps me, and this way.
I got it. So what does it mean here? I'm going to put you at 2.523. So I think here mostly basic ideas are expressed with limited elaboration. That's a pretty big problem. I think in the two area, only basic sentence structures are used successfully and spoken with fluidity. I think you have limited range of grammar and vocabulary. I don't think there's that much effort needed. I can understand what you're saying, but you kind of have a choppy rhythm or pace. That kind of describes your area. So I'm going to put you at maybe 19 to 20 points on this particular practice test. And anybody at YouTube, what do you guys think? Do you guys agree? Do you disagree with my rating? I'm thinking maybe kind of a high two, maybe 19 to 20 points out of 30. That's where I'm going to go. And in conclusion, MW, if you're interested, I think I got a pretty good plan for you. I think if you enroll in my speaking and writing feedback service, you can keep sending me speaking practice on a day-to-day basis. I will continue to give you that feedback. And in addition, I think maybe one private lesson per week would be good. And let's focus a lot on accent reduction. I want to help you, I think, with your sentence rhythm. I want to help you with your intonation. I'm going to help you with your thought groups and blending and a few other areas that are important. And if you agree to the private lessons, it does cost $50 an hour, but it's only once a week, not every day. And then the rest of the feedback that you do with your practice test, I will provide that by email. So you'll be getting some great support as you continue to improve your speaking uh, practice, your speaking proficiency. And thank you for doing this practice test.